Yeah, it's a great question. And I'll share some backstory of how I created the book this way around. This is a book you can read cover to cover in 72 minutes. It's not a long book. It's been done on purpose. It's stripping out all of the fat. What I've learned about sales professionals and real estate professionals, for that matter, is we're very good at buying books. I repeat, we're very good at buying books, not so good at taking action on what's inside the book, jumping onto the next point. So what I specifically worked on being able to do is, instead of teaching you principles about persuasion and influence and then having you struggle to find examples, I teach you examples of persuasion and influence principles in practice that help you understand those principles by putting them into practice. That's what the very method of the book is. There are no prizes or rewards for reading this book. I mean, it takes the length of time that you would, maybe watch one episode of something on Netflix. It's not necessarily a badge of honor for consuming 72 minutes of content. Putting it into practice, though, is where the challenge often comes. We go deeper with this work in a number of ways. So I run a 2.5-day certification program. And in 16 hours, we scratch the surface of what's really going on in this book. One of those most important things that we teach is our first cornerstone of conversational excellence, which is the worst time to think about the thing you're going to say is in the moment where you're saying it. Now, I say that in a speech, it's often viewed as a joke. It's a laugh line, right? Because we know of all the times we shoulda, woulda, coulda, or we come away from a conversation thinking, who was that idiot? And we're obviously talking about ourselves. What often gets missed in that statement, though, is the key word. The key word is moment. The worst time to think about the thing you're going to say is in the moment where you're saying. As real estate professionals right now, there are moments that are showing up in your reoccurring conversations that you are less than competent to the level that you know you need to be. And I don't mean the listing presentation. I mean a moment within the listing presentation. You could be killer at rapport building, killer at fact finding, fabulous at understanding what the needs and desires are of that given family at that moment in time, terrible at being able to actually lead the dance towards the next step and nudge out competition. Whereas the moment within your 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, etc., that you're looking to get better at. You could be a phenomenal leader, but the way that you show up to openings in your team meetings could be a solid 4 out of 10. You're not bad at team meetings. You're just not as good as you could be at the opening of a team meeting. So my invitation that if you want to get better at this work is go looking for the moments that exist in your daily or critical conversations and say, how do I level up at those? What you can then do is reread the book purely through the lens of those moments. And I'd invite everybody to pick a moment in one of 3 areas. Well, in all 3 of these areas. One is in your personal life. One is how you show up as a leader. And the other is something that's going to put money in your pocket, like a commercial set of reasons. Find a micro moment. You cannot get better at conversation. You cannot get better at communication. You can get better at reading and applying yourself to the moments that happen on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. And the words are tools to allow you to be more beneficial in the moment. Another mistake that people make is they think the words are magic. So what they try to do is they try to force as many of the words into conversation as they possibly can and expect us to be impressed by. I get emails most weeks from somebody saying, I took every word from the book and look, I've got it into this sales letter, this email, this video script. And I'm like, geez, that's like going to a Las Vegas all-you-can-eat buffet, taking the entire contents, putting it into a smoothie maker and expecting it to taste good. It's probably not going to work out great. So if the job is to master the moments and understand how to use the words when in the moments, the next thing to be able to do is to take any sequence of words in the book and go obnoxious on it for a day. Decide it's most people Monday. And as a team, as a group, as a leadership family, whatever it might be, is find as many practical applications for that sequence of words on that 24-hour window as possible. Go obnoxious with it. And like a piece of elastic, if you stretch out to a point that is beyond the point it should stretch, it will never stretch back to the way it would be before. So take a sequence of words, go crazy on it for a day. Coffee shop, with the kids, at the school gates, when you're at the restaurant, when you're calling the insurance company, whether you're chatting with your loan officer, everywhere. And then what you're doing is you're starting to be able to find the moments where it feels right and sits right for you. And if you want this to work in high stakes environments, then get really good at it in low stakes environments first. And then when the high stakes moments crop up, you're like, I got this.